I'm Chris Matty, founder and chief revenue officer of Versium, and we've been delivering data technology tools to marketers and agencies for over a decade. So we've seen a lot of data, and I can tell you, I have never seen a data set that is perfect. There are always problems within data, whether it's not formatted correctly, there's data entry errors, there's field structure issues. Oftentimes 50% of the data is got issues, so it can't be effectively used within marketing. And that delivers a significant challenge to the marketers who want to reach their different customers and effectively spend their media dollars in different environments. This new product is called Data Prep. It's part of Versium Reach, which is our data technology platform. Think of Versium Reach as sort of a data processing workbench where there's a variety of different data tools that marketers can use on their journey of being data-driven. The dirty data story. So data is a mess. It can be a real challenge. Salesforce has suggested that 50% of CRM data goes bad every year. Experian performed a study recently that found that 91% of companies suffered from outdated data errors, and inaccurate data. And it's a significant problem affecting most marketers. And yet another story, one of the largest auto dealers in the US found that 63% of emails in their CRM were invalid and could not receive messages. So think about the impact that has in your ability to reach your customers, to get your message across. And to the extent that you're using your first party data and uploading it in different ad platforms, whether it's Facebook, Google, or otherwise, if these emails are not valid or not associated with the people anymore, they're not being used, it limits the effectiveness of reaching these specific people you want to target. In the B2B world, 51% of Americans change employers every 1 to 5 years. So think about that. If you've got a bunch of data in your marketing automation platform that you're spending dollars to reach these people at these companies, you might not even be reaching these companies or the right people within these organizations. So this is a substantial problem affecting marketers broadly and in significant fashions. In fact, only 38% of marketers are satisfied with their marketing data because of these types of problems, whether it's data cleanliness, the data is not sufficiently complete, it gets aged, it's old, all kinds of different problems that we see when data is sent over to us to utilize in all the different types of tools we have. And the cost to organizations is substantial, and fixing these data quality issues has tremendous benefit. In fact, Serious Decisions revealed that organizations that utilize best practices in maintaining data quality can see as significant revenue increase, as much as 70%. So if you're an agency supporting your clients and you can help them address data quality issues that they have within their different systems prior to engaging in different digital activities and different marketing solutions, fixing this data can deliver substantial value to your clients, making them happy and sticking around to utilize your services going forward. The good news is there's a variety of tools that exist in the market that can be used to fix, to clean data, to validate identities. There's a lot of bot traffic out there. Some people suggest as much as 30 to 60% of the internet traffic is generated by computer programs. Many times, bad data finds its way into lead capture forms and other systems and ultimately into your marketing data sets. So validating identities, validating contact details is a very powerful thing. And then adding additional data to this initial first party data that you start with, whether it's additional contact points or whether it's insights like demographics and firmographics so that you can segment and understand your customer better. There are a variety of tools in the market that do all these different things. But today we're going to talk about data cleansing. We're going to jump over into a demo here. Here we are in Versium Reach. Versium Reach has a variety of data tools that marketers can use, whether it's consumer marketers or business marketers, and tools such as contact data enrichment, such as list generation, demographic enrichment, firmographic enrichment. These are examples of some tools we have in the market today, and stay tuned, there'll be a lot more coming. Today, we're going to show you our new tool, Data Prep. And really, it's the first step in your journey of being data-driven in your marketing activities. And data prep is designed to fix all the different data problems we see with contact data within different marketing data systems. Bad formatting, inappropriate character lengths, data entry errors, field structure issues. We do a deep diagnostic within the data set to identify what's wrong, and then we give you an easy to use tool to fix the data. So let's get started. First thing we want to do is upload a list of data. Let me just show you what this data looks like. This is a standard set of data you'll see in different marketing systems. Maybe it's been downloaded from your CRM and your marketing automation tool. Contains first name, last name. In this case, it's a business list. So business name, city, state, occupation for the individual, and then various contact details, email, phone number, and so forth. So we're going to upload this very easily. Just select the data set. And the system is uploading the data into the system. You can also bring it in from different environments, such as of HubSpot and other things where we've done integrations. First thing that happens is our system identifies the structure of the data. We see that the first row is a header in this case. If there's no header in the file, our system will identify the different characteristics. And we just want you to confirm that it's been done properly, which looks like it's happened. It has in this case, first name, last name, all the different fields in the headers have been properly identified by our platform, and we give some sample data of what it looks like. If for some reason you needed to change it because it didn't pick it up correctly, or maybe there's something a little funky in the header, you can also do that here. The other thing you'll notice is that we identify the fill rate of the different attributes. So for example, city is only contained within this data set 77% of the time. So we just give you a sense of what's contained within the data, but now let's get to the fun stuff. The first thing data prep does is do a deep field inspection of the different data elements to assess what is the quality of each different attribute. So here you see some summary perspectives. There's 100 records in this data set, 12 columns, and there's a lot of problems in this particular data set. You'll notice virtually all of this data is bad. Phone number, 100% of the phone numbers have issues. 40% of the state have issues. 30% of the emails have issues. And over on the right, we show you what types of problems we're seeing. Bad formatting, it's not normalized, bad value, it's not a North American phone number, and it gives you a percentage breakdown. And you can, in fact, look at each different field or attribute and see characteristics. The emails are just not formatted correctly in this one. If we go to phone number, we'll see bad formatting 22% of the time, not normalized 44% of the time, not a North American number 22% of the time. So you can look at each different attribute or column, and the system will identify what issues are occurring and how often or to what extent the data is bad within the data set. We also, going back over here to the overview, give you some examples of the types of problems we see. You see there's stars here. That's supposed to be an email. We take that data out. If it's a phone number that's not formatted correctly, we correct it. If there is a bad typo within the name, the system fixes it. So this gives you some examples of the types of cleaning that automatically happens within the system. But again, the first step is understanding what's going on with the data. So diagnosing this is the first step we do. Now let's get into fixing the data. This is the data prep work area. You'll notice on the right over here, we're suggesting the different actions you should do to this data set based upon the diagnosis. So you can clean first name, clean city, and so forth. We give you some sample data down here. Now, these first columns that you see are all of the existing data that was input. We haven't fixed anything yet. So this is the base data set. And what the system will do, depending on which tools you want to use, is it will provide additional columns with the cleaned or fixed data attributes. This data set has some interesting names: Bruce Wayne, Jason Bourne, Sarah Connor. For anybody who is a movie buff, you'll know those folks. And so these are all fictitious characters in the spirit of we're very sensitive to data privacy. So as we go through and select the different operations, you'll notice we add additional columns to fix the different data sets. So we're going to pick just a couple things to do here today. First of all, we are going to use fuzzy logic. Fix fuzzy location. So that applies to city. And this is where in today's world of social media, there's all sorts of nomenclature for location. The Big Apple, the Emerald City, the City of Angels. And we're going to normalize that all to the specific actual state that it's relevant to. So we're going to apply this action. You notice we add it down here. It appears. You can also just select it up here. You'll also notice, we scroll over, we've added these additional columns. It's noted as Los Angeles now versus City of Angels as an example. So these columns here have all been added when you select this function. So we're going to go in and select another one, occupation title. We're going to standardize the job function because you'll notice in this data set, there's all sorts of different titles: Jedi Master, Queen, Gladiator Champion, Scientist. Believe it or not, there are over 1 million titles in LinkedIn of all different sorts, and you really need to standardize these into different title ranks and different title descriptors. So we're going to apply that action. Last thing we're going to do is fix some email, do some things with email. When you select email, you'll notice there's a couple different things you can do, and we're going to be adding a number of additional tools. This is in beta mode right now. For this one, we're just going to extract the domain. So you might have a bunch of emails and you want to know which businesses or which companies are engaging because you want to do an ABM campaign. So we're going to extract the email domain. You'll notice we scroll over here. You'll see we added additional columns. Here's your occupation title that's been standardized: military, scientists, performer, entertainers, textile worker, things of that nature. And then here's the email domain that's been extracted when there is an email. You notice that it doesn't do it all the time because this data set doesn't have there's a bunch of bad emails and things like that that just get left alone. So now that we've done all this and we've seen some sample of what's going to happen, we'll go to the next step. And here's where we're going to configure the output. Standard field structure here, all the additional columns are over here to the right. If you see extracted zip, there's nothing in that column. So we are going to just take it out. And when you click on that, you'll notice that the zip code has been taken out of this data set. You can also go in and edit. Maybe you don't want to call it occupation title. Maybe you want to call it job title. You can go in and edit the column header here. The other thing you can do that's interesting is we see occupation title standardized. We want to move that right up next to the original one. So just by dragging and dropping, boom, you do that. And you'll notice here's the original occupation, and we've moved the clean one over. So you can manipulate this data very easily. Let's go ahead and download the data set and process the clean. We're going to give this thing a demo title. Call it Demo X. And that means we've created a project. And the point here is you can have different flows of fixing data. In some cases, you may not want to fix email. So you're going to leave that one just as it is because you're using it as a key into a different system. Once you've configured the different rules you want to apply, it's saved within the project. And ultimately, you can hit an API so that you can follow the same process for every data set you want to address with those same data cleanse operations. Let's create the data set. All right, there we go. Here's the analysis, the data input, the dirty data in. We went into the work area. We fixed all of the data we wanted to, and it gives you sort of a flow there. I was mentioning API developer tools. So once you've configured this properly, or the way you want to, it automatically generates an API set of code that you can connect to process with this particular established flow of data correction. Now you might have, again, different data sets you want to apply differently, and so there will be different APIs generated that will follow the same flow that that you've constructed. And we go into the details. And this is really just a summary of what's been done. You see the actions here: fuzzy location, job standardization, job title standardization, and we've abstracted the domain. We see how many times we've applied this rule within this data set, how many fields were empty, so we couldn't do anything, how many times it was modified, was it invalid, and you'll notice remaining bad data as far as these different tools. There isn't any because the system has automatically fixed it. So that is data prep. It's just been released to the public. We'd love to invite you to check it out. We're going to be adding a bunch more tools. You'll notice that the pricing here is based upon the volume of things we correct within the data set, and we hope you find it very useful. Thanks for your time today, and we hope that all your marketing endeavors are very successful.